Yeah, we can hear it, but I need to see it, okay? Yeah, jobs aren't supposed to be fun, but they're not supposed to be like this, okay? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel via Glow. If you're new here, my name is Gloria and I'm a full-time reseller on multiple different apps and I resell clothes and shit. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be reflecting on my 2024 goals. I'm also going to be telling you guys my 2025 goals, and then I also want to talk about some brands that I found in 2024 that I'm hoping to find in 2025. So let's just jump in. All right, so for starters, I did put out a video last year talking about what I wanted to accomplish in 2024, and I actually want to give you guys a quick summary on whether or not I accomplished it or I failed. So I did say that I wanted to go up 25% year to date in sales. I actually went up by 59% for 2024. So I definitely crushed that goal, which we absolutely love. And with me going up 59%, a few things that I did accomplish to help me meet that goal was I kept my cost of goods low, which was also a goal, was to keep my cost of goods low. And then another goal under the umbrella of the going up in my year-to-date sales was to shop at a regular thrift store bi-monthly. Now unfortunately that did not happen. I want to say around the summertime is when I completely stopped going to thrift stores, and I think I was going to them like every couple of months. I really have no desire to shop in a thrift store, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. The way my business model is set up, my preference is going to always be the Goodwill outlet versus a regular thrift store. More bang for my buck, and it's less time that I'm wasting, because I feel like 2 hours that I spend at the bins, I'm sourcing about 30 pieces versus me going into a thrift store where I am, there for 2 hours. If I'm going to use the same logic, I'm there for 2 hours and I may have found 5 to 7 items. I just personally feel like it's a waste of time for my business model, but for yours, good for you. So that goal did not get accomplished. And then I had a financial monthly goal as far as my spending habits. Prior to 2024, I just was swiping that debit card wherever I could swipe it at. But I said in 2024, I wanted to have a monthly spending goal of $500 a month. Now I know to some that is quite laughable. So unfortunately for me, since my Ben's location went up by 40 cents, I want to say in February, they went up to $169 as just like a flat fee. My cost of goods definitely also rose. So on average, I was spending $100 more. So monthly, I spent about $600 for new inventory. So unfortunately, I did not meet that quota. And it was because I was blindsided from the bins, but that's okay. All right, so the next thing was actually the buy sell trade store. I actually wanted to implement them in my business model. I wanted to source items at the Goodwill outlet and then flip the items to them for a profit. And of course the money was coming to me a lot quicker than any other way. I would literally just get the items from the Goodwill outlet, go inside their store and sell it to them for 3 times the profit, 3 to 4 times the profit. So I would pay that $1 because my cost of goods at the time when I initially set out to do this was under $1. So I just kind of rounded it up to $1 because I always would pay about 75 cents to maybe if it's a heavier jeans day or jacket day to $1.10 per piece. So I had a lot more wiggle room there. And then once my outlet went up on the pricing, and I remember in the summertime I actually was vlogging, and I just recognized that it just wasn't beneficial for me to source to sell to a buy sell trade store because the profit margin just wasn't there. And even though I'm not spending much time literally buying the clothes and then driving to the place, it still just didn't make sense for me to be spending more money just to make a slither of a little bit more. Because even if I doubled my money, that would make more sense, but I mean, I wasn't doubling the money. It just didn't work for me. So I completely stopped that, I want to say over the summer. And then I completely stopped sourcing for them all the way up until December. So December is when I just started back, sourcing for them. By the time y'all see this video, it is a new year. We're in January, but current Gloria right at this moment, we are still last year. Yeah, I also realized while I was reflecting on these goals is that I need to quickly back out because I've been sourcing for them, and I need to stop because it's not going to benefit me really. An extra $20-$30 is not worth the time that I'm spending. So I'm gonna actually cut myself off from sourcing for the buy sell trade store today. But anyways, so moving on. So another goal of mine for 2024 was to get on new platforms. The first one I hopped on was Curtsy, because Curtsy had a feature where you can literally just click a button and then it'll upload all of your Poshmark items to Curtsy. Now, initially where I had a problem with this is that I wanted to curate the items that I was going to sell on Curtsy, because Curtsy had a specific demographic that they were selling to, which were people really my age and then like Gen Z. Y'all know I sell a lot of mature brands, okay? So having Chico's and Express and all of that on that website just didn't seem logical to me. So of course I reached out to customer service. They said, hey, it's nothing that we can really do. Like once you upload all of it, like that's just what it is. So I'm just like, okay, that's fine. The second issue for me on Curtsy was actually that when I would sell an item on another platform, I would go to delete it on Curtsy, and I assumed that I delisted it. Next thing I know, I see that it's still there. So I recognized that was a big issue, and instead of me getting like an influx or just even one or two problems where somebody purchases something that already sold, I went on and just canceled out the whole thing. If they had it where I could just like select, you know, a few items, then yes, but I feel like the way that they're going right now, it just doesn't work for me, or it didn't work for me, because this was definitely like 8 or so months ago. This was a while ago. But the other platform that I opened up was Depop. Now I actually started reselling on Depop back in 2020, and I've opened up the app, I've closed the app, I've opened it up because I felt like it just wasn't giving me enough. What did they say? It wasn't enough juice from the squeeze. I don't know how that saying go, but that's just how I felt with Depop. So in February of 2024, I say, you know what, we are not gonna start and stop. Let's just keep going. So once Flip, because I use Flip as my cross listing service, once they added on Depop, it was a go from there. So I ended up just cross listing the items when I'm in my cross listing phase every single day, and you know, it just started working out, and I started to make more sales. Now I do only average about 7 to 10 sales per month, but I'm actually pretty content with that, because I feel like the more I grow my platform on there, the more money I'm gonna make, because I think I only have like 200 items, so that's not enough to see like, you know, a whole bunch of growth. I definitely need more on there, but I do curate the items that I list on Depop, so that is another thing. Another one was actually reaching 2K listings. Now I remember when I put out the video talking about I wanted to go up to 2K listings, I think I said I was at 1,000. So I accomplished it, and of course I accomplished it because I was putting out 400 new items every single month. All right, and then lastly, for my 2024 reflection, another goal that I have for my YouTube channel specifically was to reach 6K subscribers. I think at the time I had 4,000 subscribers, but right now at the time that I'm actually filming the video, I am at 7,700 subscribers. So I definitely crushed that goal, and I'm actually really happy about it. Like, y'all don't know, like I really put in a lot of work in 2024 to try to reach that goal, because I just wanted to make sure that I have attainable goals and not like shoot for the stars, even though shooting for the stars is a great thing to do, but for me personally, I like to reach attainable goals and not goals that are just too damn much, you know? All right, so moving to my 2025 goals. These are all going to be for my business and my business only. I think in a vlog I probably will talk about my goals for 2025 in my personal life, but we hear about business, okay? So my first one was to increase my year-to-date sales by 30%. I went above and beyond last year, but I think 30% is definitely a good number that I want to sit at for 2025. Now, how I'm going to accomplish this is I'm actually going to go up on my listings by 5 to 10 items each day. So currently I list 100 items a week, Monday through Thursday. I do not work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but the goal is to add 5 to 10 each day. So that'll bump me up to what, 125 to 150 each week, which you know, but we got to make the goals happen. And then another thing is to essentially just pick better items, because I clearly have noticed the growth that has happened from doing the exact same thing. So we're going to continue that. And then next, I want to hire an assistant. I know I was venting to you guys on a ship and shop video, and I'm definitely going to be looking into hiring somebody that is super part-time. I'm content with just 5 to 10 hours a week. Nothing too crazy, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to overwork them. I just want something very simple. I just want them to really just take over the mundane tasks that I just need a break on sometimes, you know. So yeah, that is a goal. And then another one is that I actually want to thrift monthly. Now, like I told y'all before, I've literally fallen out of love with sourcing at a regular thrift store. I don't care for it. I feel like it's super tedious and it's just not fun, because when I go in there, I'm finding the same shit that I find at the bins, and I'm just like, okay, this is a total waste of time. Why would I pay, you know, $7 for something that I can find at the bins? It just doesn't make any sense. But this go around for this year, I plan on sourcing once a month. Another goal of mine for 2025 is to create a new inventory system. I know y'all gonna come for me because y'all like,
girl, I told you, you ain't listen. I told you.
Okay, hear me out. I quite literally had a mental breakdown yesterday. I received a notification on Poshmark. Hey, I received the wrong item. And that was the final straw for me. I literally called my sister and I was like, hey, I need you to make me a Excel spreadsheet. Like I told y'all, she is really good with that aspect. So called her, and then I started crying. And just like a normal big sister, she was like, we got to get this shit together. So that is going to be happening for 2025. So I'm going to be having a new inventory system, and of course I will update you guys in my vlog, so make sure you guys subscribe if you're interested. But yeah, that is going to be happening. And then another one that I thought that I wouldn't also get into, I'm going to be creating a draft bank. Now, if you are not familiar with the term, because I wasn't familiar with the term until I heard a few people talk about it on YouTube, it's essentially where you have inventory already preloaded. Like, it's already there waiting for you. I think some people already kind of like do all of the work, and then all you have to do is just like list it. But for me, I think what I'm going to do, since I'm going to be on Poshmark, I'm going to kind of play with the idea of just making sure everything is photographed and just drafting it and sitting it in my drafts. I do know Poshmark does have a feature where you have like drops, which I think that might be something I would prefer, just because people can kind of see what is coming, and then it'll have like the date where the item will be like listed. So I think that's actually pretty cool too. So the goal is to kind of get on that wave where I am not going to the bins the exact same day and then I'm listing those exact same items. The goal is to at the very least be like 2 days ahead, and then I can kind of continue on to try to be further ahead. But like I said, since it's just me, once I do get an assistant, then I will be able to kind of shift more focus on getting that together. And then of course, since I will be having like a good old draft bank, I also want to possibly work an additional day just to kind of get me ahead for the next week. So my son's dad is an amazing man. Of course we aren't together and we won't be together, so don't ask. But he is going to be spending more time with our son on his off day, which falls on my day to have my son. So I'm gonna work out something where maybe twice a month I will actually spend that day like, you know, drafting everything and kind of tying up any loose ends in my business. That way Monday can run a lot smoother. And that is, I want to say, the last goal. But another one that I just thought about, I am also, I guess this really wouldn't be a goal, but it's going to be something that I'm going to shift. I'm going to change my shipping schedule. on eBay. Now I have it like next day. So if you purchase it today, it's got to be shipped out tomorrow. But of course I had something in place for if you purchase on Thursday, it's not going to be shipped out to Monday, because y'all know I only ship Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But now I'm only going to be shipping Mondays and Thursdays, just to kind of give myself more space to have a more flexible schedule, so I won't be as stressed out trying to ship every single day, and it can just kind of be, you know, designated for specific days. And then of course I'll tweak it if I need to, but just to get the foot off my neck, I will scale back on that, because as y'all know, like in a lot of vlogs leading up to the new year, I have been extremely stressed out. December almost took me out, okay? Like I really just need to assess my business and just make sure that I am not stressing myself out, because yeah, jobs aren't supposed to be fun, but they're not supposed to be like this, okay? So I just really needed to really sit down and figure out what I can do to alleviate the stressors that I have in my business, because I am a one-woman show and it's actually a lot to keep up with. When you are a full-time reseller, you the only one in your household that's paying your bills, you do YouTube, and then you are also a parent. Like it's a lot, and I know that it is another YouTuber that I follow, Ashley. She's also a single mom. Like I could only imagine. I do have the luxury of having a co-parent, so he does have our son, you know, half of the week, but this shit is hard. So if it's hard for me, I can only imagine how hard it is for my girl. But anyways, we're gonna move on to the next segment. Now this one is actually fun, because I'm sure this is why y'all came here, because y'all want to know some BOLO brands. So as a disclaimer, these are BOLO brands that I found for the very first time in 2024, all on my own. Now I did include two. Okay, I included two that I actually saw resellers talk about, and I just think that they are worth talking about, worth mentioning. So let's just get into it, because y'all need to know these brands. So the first one is Heart's Desire. This one shocked the hell out of me. It was like a linen jacket, I want to say, and it sold literally the exact same day for $130. And I remember this because I was shocked. I was flabbergasted, because during the listing process, I'm like, okay, I don't want to price this one too high, but the comps is kind of in that window. So let's just price it at this one to be conservative. And it sold. So this is definitely something you should look out for. The quality is there, so you will know. The next one is Free City. Never heard of it, and I came across it once and then again, and both of them flipped very quickly. The second one was flawed, still sold for a good amount. So if you see this brand, 1000% pick it up. It's kind of like how Aviator Nation is, but like a little bit different, but kind of similar. The next one is Pine and Smith. Very new to me. I actually found this at a thrift store. I think the tag looked like it was worth looking into, but the fabric content is what drew me to it. It was a linen dress, and yeah, this one flipped like the exact same day. Very fast sale. Chinty and Parker, they sell quality pieces. Now I was lucky enough to pick up a cashmere piece that was like colorful, it was beautiful, but I think this brand in general just sells well. I don't know how to pronounce this. 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊, something like that. New to me brand, found it at the bins, new with tags. Looked into it, comps were good, definitely a good BOLO brand. This one is one I heard of another YouTuber. The brand is called 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊. Saw it on her channel and literally found it not too long after, and it was a jumpsuit. These things go for a lot of money. They make pants, they make pretty much a lot of different styles. So of course, whatever you pick up, you will need to check comps, but I believe their boiler suits are definitely going to fetch you a lot of money. The next one is also another one that I saw on another YouTuber's channel, Citron, and that's why I always like try to zone in on the labels when people talk about brands, because yeah, we can hear it, but I need to see it, okay? So if I didn't see that tag, I would not have remembered it. That also goes for the 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂. But the Citron, automatic, love that. 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊, now I picked this one up on my own, of course, and I saw that it was in collaboration with Lake, and I'm like, Lake is actually a good brand, so let me look into 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊. I was flabbergasted. So I'm like, yeah, let's go ahead and get her. So if you see 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊, pick it up. Another one is Dainty Jewels. Now this one also found at a regular thrift store. I was pretty shocked when I found it because I checked comps and I'm just like, okay, this one's doing okay. And that's why you really have to use your own factors when it does come to pricing. Of course, you always want to, you know, consider the comps and everything, but you also want to consider the item that you have, because I priced this one much higher. Somebody literally came in, bundled both of them, and then sent me an offer. I countered because I think at the time my lowest was $60 a piece, and then they bought it. So we love that. Definitely a good brand to look into. Joanna Ortiz or Ortiz, I don't know. I picked this one up, but it was in collaboration with H&M. Now H&M is not a desirable brand by any means, however their collaborations are worth looking into. So the one that I picked up was a linen blend, and it was a floral design. I'm like, let me look into this and see what it's hidden for, because I know H&M is not that good, but this, you know, label looked like it's worth it. So I went on and I'm like, oh wow, like I'm shocked. So I actually priced that H&M collab at like $60 some, and it sold for $60 some. So I think the brand Joanna Ortiz specifically performs most likely better, but if you get it in a collab, I would say get it. I would say get it. I would say check your comps and make sure you price it right. The next one is Suit Supply. It was my first time finding it. I found it at the bins. It was new with tags. Love to see it. I haven't heard anybody talk about it, and I was pretty shocked at the price point that it was selling for. So I'm like, yes, please let me find this again. So that was a good one. Brioni, I feel like I heard somebody talk about it, but I don't remember seeing like the label. So when I found it, I'm like, okay, this feels like it's quality. The tag looked like it was worth looking into, and then of course I checked comps. The comps are doing well, so that was a really good pickup. I know when I showed a what so video and I talked about that item, one of my subscribers told me like, girl, why did you sell it for as cheap as you did? You could have got more. But when you find things at the bins, you kind of have that wiggle room, so you know. The next one is Gudrun Shojin. This one was exciting because I remember looking at the pieces that I found at the bins, and the tag I could not like recognize. So I remember taking a picture of it and I took to my Instagram. That's why I love my Instagram followers. And I was like, hey, is this a good brand? And then they said, girl, yes, get it. And then both of them flipped for over $50. So I've been looking for them ever since. I cannot wait to find them. All right, so Outlier is another brand that I came across at the bins. It felt like quality. It kind of felt like how Lululemon would. So the label looked like it was like how Outdoor Voices label looks. So I'm like, oh, let me look into it. These men like Hoochie Daddy shorts literally can flip for over $50 used. Crazy. And they were Hoochie Daddy shorts, like we're talking like 4 or 5 inch inseam, like really short. And the pair that I remember getting was like a size 28, which is a unicorn size in men. So I was really happy that it flipped for over $50. All right, so another one is Anthro brand. Now Anthro does have a shit ton of brands that they sell on their platform. This one in particular, I've had a few run-ins with where it has gotten a shit ton of attention and it's sold for a decent amount of money. It's called Let Me Be. So yeah, if you see this tag, go ahead and pick it up. Of course you can vet it and all the things, but if you go to the bins, you don't even gotta really check comps. Just take it home, okay, because it's gonna sell. The next one is Brody. Now I believe that theirs is like specifically Brody cashmeres, but I remember picking this up, and this one, I can't remember the price point, but it had to have been for over like $40. I hate how I say like, oh, I can't remember this, but then I'll tell y'all exactly what it is. But yeah, so definitely a great brand to pick up. Put it on your list. This one I cannot pronounce. I'll just have to pop it on the screen. This one sold fairly quickly for over $50. This one is also sold at Anthropologie. So these type of brands, when you see like the labels that just look very interesting, and then you look at the style, you really just gotta jump on it, because initially I thought this brand was one of those Indian brands, and it's like no shade, ain't trying to be racist or nothing, but when I'm at the bins I see a lot of those like, you know, outfits and stuff, so I always pass them up, but I was just like, this one might be a little bit different, and it was, so thank God I grabbed it. The next one is Tucker NYC. Now this isn't like Tucker Nuck, this is Tucker NYC. And I picked this one up because it was a silk dress and it was like an extra large. This one got a lot of attention, and then it also sold for a decent amount. So Tucker NYC, pick it up, great bolo. Wolford is a, I want to say like an intimate brand, also a bolo. I picked up this cute little sexy bra, and I was so jealous that the bra was so small, because I'm like, why can't I have titties this small? But super cute, and this one sold, I want to say, for over $40. So definitely a great brand to look out for, and just the label looks real like high class. Okay. Lisa Todd is another one. I have been lucky enough to pick up cashmere pieces from Lisa Todd, so I don't know if that's what she only sells, but definitely a great bolo. And the last thing, I put this on the list just because it was really fast flips, and I feel like it's desirable, especially in the winter and fall time. Brandon Thomas. And I feel like this must have been like something that a TikToker or something must have talked about, because the girls specifically was buying Brandon Thomas leather suede jackets. So if you're watching this video now, you still have time. So if you find any Brandon Thomas like leather jackets, pick it up, girl. Make sure you use like academia in the title, because I feel like it will help it sell. But yeah, those are all of the items that I found in 2024 that I'm hoping to find in 2025. I'll be honest, I try to stick to items that were over $40 versus me getting up under that, because I feel like $40 and over is like a really good window. But yeah, those are just the ones that I personally found on my own, except those two. There are other items that I was able to flip for over $40 last year that I didn't put on the list because most of us know all about them. So I just wanted to give some ones that I didn't think you knew, because I didn't know. Granted, y'all could have knew, I just didn't know. Anyways, I will see y'all in the next one. And also, before you go, please let me know down below a goal that you have for 2025. You don't have to go into like super huge details, but just something that you want to switch up. Even if you were just going to test it out, let me know, because I'm nosy. But I will see y'all in the next one.